You ain't no. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies. Now R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna? Yes on, yes on, yes on, yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't no. Say less.
Sheesh. What you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped. Sheesh. I swear this lock shot got me stuttering. Girl, you not falling.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Redskins going up against the Vikings. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Quick move by Miller. Lamar Miller, 30, the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. Throwing is Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
And that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 2nd down, Cousins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. The 30. 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, 77 yards. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 9 carries, 78 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20 plus.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. First down, Bridgewater. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On second down, Bridgewater again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Let's go. 180. 180.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver. And
the Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And Everson Griffin in there again to drop him for the second straight play, and it'll be 4th down. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the second quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And he's able to put it through. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Let's go. Wide Eddie. Wide Eddie.
Bridgewater now on second down. Very quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Bridgewater now. And going deep for Hill. A swing pass caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. Cousins to his big target. Reed and the Redskins have a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Cousins again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it'll bring up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, Cousins. Doxson with a grab over the middle. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Tressway now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, nope.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
So we've reached halftime in the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Let's get to it. These teams are out and ready to go. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark. And maybe
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Throwing, Cousins. Out to the left, it's complete to Daxon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Here's Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Thompson. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The penalty on first down backs him up 5. It's now first down at 15. After the penalty, it's Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Cousins to throw it. It's hauled in by Doxson. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Bridgewater. Green with a catch left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep...
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Hill shedding the tackle. He is going to find Hill here. And that one results in 35 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They run again on first down. Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And the play clock's running down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Jamarcus Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Forbath will put this one through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so. But this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Sideline throw, that's caught. Julian Edelman. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He'll look to throw. He's got his man. This is Jackson. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperate. That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Josh Doctson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. This is taken at the 3. good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And caught right side, Green. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And this offense needs a touchdown. A field goal won't get it done in this situation. But after giving up back-to-back sacks, things are looking a little bit bleak.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your